It's the internet sensation that's sweeping the nation. Lance and Larry tracking the pack this week. We have an actual game to talk about, Larry. Yes, it's preseason football, but I love the McCarren dictionary. It's usually either jacked or jazzed. Which one are you for this game?
Geeked. How's that one, Lance? It's time to play. There was a lot of extracurriculars at practice today. The guys are sick of hitting each other. I think it's time to play a game.
Now, this answer we might want to cue back up from last week, but how is David Bakhtiari faring in camp? And now he switches to the left side with the Brian Balaga injury. What do you see out of him, Larry?
Well, Lance, he's been outstanding from the get-go, although today I don't think he had one of his better days, but he was okay. But overall, he's everything you want in a rookie tackle. As a matter of fact, if he had been a first-round draft choice, you'd be saying, hey, what a good pick. And now he gets his chance to do it. He's been handed the opportunity to be the starter at the offensive line's most important position. He's shown a lot of ability and results so far. We'll see what he can do when the lights come on.
Obviously, a lot of injuries so far in camp, but probably the most shocking one to those that weren't really paying attention was the Jordy Nelson knee procedure that he's going to miss the rest of training camp and maybe be ready for the season opener. Will that affect the offensive chemistry, Larry, in the preseason going into the regular season?
Well, Lance, that's a good point. However, Aaron Rodgers and Jordy Nelson, and that's the main chemistry in that equation, is the timing between those two. They have played together for years. Now, I would think if Jordy comes back as they expect him to for the regular season, and they do get a few days of practice, that will be good enough. Not ideal, but good enough.
All right, Mason Crosby, just before the family night scrimmage, he was 5 for 5 in practice, and then 3 for 8 in family night in front of a crowd at Lambeau Field. Are these problems fixable, Larry?
Well, let's hope so for Mason's sake. Giorgio Tavecchio, he certainly looks the part. He's got a live leg, not as strong a leg as Mason's, but it's kind of up to Mason. You can do all you want to do, and he hasn't lost his ability. He's still got a strong leg. But somewhere between the years, he's got to work it out. When he does miss, it seems to me, and I've never kicked a field goal in anger, but it does seem to me he kind of punches it, kind of aims it. He's got to get through that and start swinging through the ball like he can, like he has in the past. He has a number of Packer records to his credit, but he's got to do those things. He's in a serious, heated competition, and he really brought that all upon himself with that poor performance that you mentioned on family night.
One other leftover thing from family night, Larry, that I noticed, Eddie Lacy. I know last year Mike McCarthy not happy that a lot of the running backs would get hit near the line of scrimmage, and that would be pretty much it. Not a lot of yards after contact. They'd fall down after 1-2 yards. It seemed like, to me, Lacy made some of the offensive linemen look pretty good by getting hit about a yard from scrimmage, and he would still plow the pile forward 3-4 yards. Is that what you're kind of seeing as well, minus that hamstring injury he's suffering through?
Yeah, Lance, I thought Lacy looked real good Saturday night, and it's been kind of an interesting study. First few days of camp, I thought he was really, really ordinary, but the pads came on, he picked it up a little bit, and he has a reputation as a gamer. I mean, when it's live, that's when he's at his best, and he showed that Saturday night. He's one of the fellas I'm really interested in seeing against the Arizona Cardinals.
And what do you look for in a first preseason game, Larry? Let's face facts. Aaron Rodgers is only going to play a handful of snaps. You want to get the starters out of the game without injury. A lot of the 2s and 3s are going to be seeing time. But what do you look for?
I'd like to see in this particular preseason opener, I'd like to see the Packers running game. Is there going to be a commitment to it, and are they going to execute it better than they have in the past? Offensively speaking, we've already talked about him. Bakhtiari out on the hot corner. Let's see how he does. Lacy, can he put back-to-back strong performances together if he is in fact healthy? On the defensive side of the ball, not many folks have talked about it in a while, but I don't think at that safety position opposite Morgan Burnett, anybody has jumped out and seized that job. We're talking M.D. Jennings and Jerron McMillan. They both alternate back there. They both do some good things and some not so good occasionally, but I don't think anybody has seized that job. It'll be interesting, depending on how much they play, to see who shows a little better against the Arizona Cardinals.
It's been about 8 months, but Larry, we look forward to listening to you and Wayne on the broadcast on News Radio 620 WTMJ Friday night against the Cardinals. Thanks, Larry. Lance and Larry tracking the pack.